بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. السؤال أو سائل يسأل فيقول: أجري لأهلي عملية في المستشفى، فلما انتهت من العملية كانت متعبة جدا، ولم يزل المخدر عليها، لكنها صلت رغم هذا صلاة الظهر والعصر جمعا والمغرب والعشاء على حالها بدون وضوء أو تيمم، كما وأنها تحس أنها ليست بوعيها في صلاتها، وهي تشعر بتعب ومشقة حتى لو قام أحد بتوضئتها أو ما أشبه ذلك، فهل عليها إعادة هذه الصلاة الآن بعد قدرتها على الوضوء؟ وهل يصح الجمع وهذه حالتها؟ Question says, my wife had surgery in the hospital. When the surgery was finished, she was exhausted. She wasn't feeling well, in a state of sedation, the drugs, the anesthesia, etc. And despite her feeling in such a, despite her being in such a difficult, challenging situation, she offered the salah. She made dhuhr and asr together. And then afterwards, she made maghrib and isha together. She made dhuhr and asr at the time of dhuhr. And then when Maghrib came in, she made Maghrib and Isha at the time of Maghrib and Isha. And she didn't have any wudu. She couldn't make wudu. She was, feeling terrible, horrible. She was sick, tired, half out of it, the drugs, etc., the surgery. Nor did she perform tayammum. She didn't place her hands on the dust or the dirt and wipe her face and her hands. On top of all of that, she was barely in a conscious state. She was barely awake. She was barely aware of what she was doing and what she was saying. She was very tired. She was very exhausted. Even if somebody were to make wudu on her or to help her out, she was, she could barely stand up or do anything herself. So the question is, does she have to make those prayers up again? There's 4 prayers that she made in that state. Half there, half unconscious, no wudu, no tayammum, etc. Does she have to make those prayers up? And what she did, was it correct or incorrect? Of making the prayers together, combining the prayers, so on and so forth. الجواب: أما الجمع للمريض فيجوز إذا كان مما يشق عليه أن يتوضأ لكل صلاة، فله أن يجمع بين الصلاتين بوضوء واحد، أو يشق عليه أن ينزل من سريره مرتين ونزل نزولا واحدا وصلاهما في وقت واحد، فإن ذلك جائز. فالجمع يجوز للمسافر ويجوز للمريض، وذلك أنه شرع للتخفيف وإزالة المشقة، كما جاز إذا استمر المطر لأجل المشقة. First and foremost, it's lawful for the Muslim who's ill, who's sick, who's aching, to combine the prayers. It's lawful for them to combine between those prayers in that time. You can't combine all 5. But the time of dhuhr, in reality, can also be the time of asr. And the time of maghrib can also be the time of isha. Fajr cannot be combined. Asr and maghrib cannot be combined. But the 2 halves of the day and the night, that's lawful. It's permissible for the Muslim who is sick. If it's difficult for the Muslim to make wudu for every salah, then it's lawful for them to make 2 prayers with 1 wudu. Made wudu from dhuhr and asr. Yajuz, it's permissible. It's difficult for me to make wudu for maghrib after use the bathroom, whatever breaks a person's wudu, and then making wudu, the water is cold, I'm shivering, I got chills in my body, I have a wound, etc. Whatever the reason is that makes wudu difficult. So it's permissible to combine between those prayers with just 1 wudu. So if it's a difficulty making the wudu or getting down from the bed or whatever the situation that the sick Muslim is in, it is lawful for them to combine those prayers. The fatwa then states, it's lawful for a traveler to combine the salah. And it's lawful for the sick person to combine the salah. And it's also lawful for the congregation to combine the salah when it's raining or snowing or any other type of challenging, inclement weather. We don't say bad weather. You don't disrespect the weather. Say weather that's difficult to operate in. Okay? And the reason why this is lawful, takhfif, he says, to make things easy and to remove hardship and difficulty upon the worshippers. وأما صلاتها وهي غير عاقلة ولا مدركة بل معها شيء من بقايا التقدير بحيث أنها لا تعي ما تقول وليست في كمال وعيها فإنها لا تجزي فلا بد أن يكون المصلي مدركا لما يقول وعاقلا له تماما فهذه إذا كانت قد صلت والوعي غير متكامل وقد وقع منها إخلال ببعض الواجبات في الصلاة بالقراءة مثلا أو بالأذكار الواجبة فالأولى بها أن تعيد فما إذا كانت في وعيها بحيث أنها مدركة لقراءتها وقد أتت بالواجبات فلا تعيد فيما يظهر. As far as her praying in a state of unconsciousness or being half there, being extremely woozy, you know, when you take the wrong type of painkiller, some of you may take Allahu Alam, you all know. Or when you're sick, you have a surgery, a major surgery, and you can feel the anesthesia in you. It's burning you, it hurts in the beginning. And after the surgery, you're like, you're in a different state. But I'm still awake, but it's a crazy feeling, right? He says, as far as her making salah like that, then if she was totally unaware of what she was saying and doing, and if the drugs were that strong, the anesthesia, it was that strong, then she has to make the salah again. And that's because in most cases she said something that she wasn't supposed to say, or she didn't say something that she was supposed to say or do, because she wasn't in the right mental state. As far as her praying, or Muslim praying, and they're woozy, quote unquote, dizzy, drowsy, but they still understand the basics of what they're saying, and they're performing the obligatory acts of the prayer, the obligatory things to say in the prayer, then you don't have to make the salat again. Fima yadhhab. It seems that they do not have to make the salah again. As fatwas given by Shaykh Ibn Jibrin, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy upon his soul. There are many things that we can learn from, many things to pay attention to notice here, is that Islam is made for the benefit of the worshipper. Allah doesn't want to punish you. Allah needs not to punish you. Allah doesn't get anything by you going through a hardship or a difficulty. Allah wants things to be easy for you, but for you performing the worship. And not like many people think you can do whatever you want to do because Islam is easy. You don't have to follow anything. You don't even have to, Allah knows. La. I want to do the right thing. I have to make prayer, but I can't stand up. I have a kidney problem. I have a liver problem. I broke my finger. I had surgery in my mouth. I had to get a root canal, etc. Allah knows that. So there's no point in you punishing yourself and you pushing yourself through torture and pain unnecessarily. So if you have the sincere intention, and if you're trying your best to follow the rules, there is ease and facilitation. And the deen is based off of those principles. So any mufti giving a fatwa, which is clear hardship upon the people, that fatwa is not from the proper teachings of Al-Islam. Secondly, those who are sick and ill and infirm have special rulings. There are special rulings for the infirm, specifically for them, man, woman, and child. Thirdly, doing what you can versus not trying and not caring. Purification and the prayer for the sick and the infirm, no matter what the case. You have to make wudu. If you can't make wudu, you make tayammum. If you can't make tayammum, you can't make wudu, someone makes wudu on you. If the water is too cold, if you have bandages, you have burns all over your body, then you do whatever you can. You pray without nothing, but you have to start by trying to do that which is correct. And many people lay, and even some people who claim to be learned, I'm sure they're ignorant of these rulings. And they make up things and they mix things up. So we should learn these basic rulings and pass them on to others. Alright, so therefore, the fiqh of combining the salah, you don't have to be in a state in which you're going to die to combine the salah. If it's causing you a hardship and pain, it's permissible. Even if the pain isn't excruciating, killing you, right? And there's no rule of where that pain is or isn't. my ear, my nose, my eyes, my head, my knee, my foot, right? Let alone when drugs are involved. And it's best to combine the salah instead of a person saying, I'm going to make the salah later, I'm going to get up. You don't know if you're going to get up. Your body's in an exhausted state. Your body may take over. And next thing you know, right? Wallahu ta'ala alam. Jazakallahu khairan.